What if the tallest mountain in Norway wasn't a mountain at all, but a sleeping troll king? And what happens when we wake it up? This isn't an ancient myth. It's a national emergency. Long ago, Nora's father Tobias told her a secret legend. The local mountains aren't just rock and stone. They are the petrified remains of ancient trolls, frozen by the rising sun after a wild, all-night wedding celebration. And one day, young Nora didn't just hear the story. She stared at the cliffs and almost saw the monstrous faces trapped within. Years later, a daring railway project drills deep into the Dovre mountains and wakes something up. A catastrophic eruption kills workers and protesters, leaving the government with no explanation. They call in a team of scientists, including Nora, the little girl who heard the troll stories, now a paleontologist on her first big case. The experts blame a methane gas leak, but Nora sees what others miss. Giant footprints scarred the land. Only one other government advisor, Andres, dares to suggest the terrifying possibility. Just as officials dismiss her theory, a second attack miles away destroys the home of an elderly couple. This was no accident. Now, with the Prime Minister's authorization, Nora and Andres must partner with a hardened soldier, Captain Chris Holm, to hunt the truth. Convinced the ancient legends are true, Nora and her team seek out the one man who always knew, her father, Tobias. They find him in the middle of nowhere, exiled from his professorship and living in seclusion after being branded a madman for his beliefs. For years, he claimed that trolls were not myth, but mighty creatures that roamed the earth 1,000 years ago, until they were driven to extinction by the rise of a new world. He was on the verge of proving it when he was silenced and locked away in a mental asylum. Now, presented with the evidence, the old fire returns. The madman's theory is no longer a fantasy. It's a terrifying reality. Guided by Tobias's knowledge, the team finds a mountain that shouldn't exist. But as they investigate, they accidentally awaken the colossal beast, which had been perfectly camouflaged as the cliffside itself. They barely escape with their lives, but now have undeniable video evidence of a living troll. A military strike is immediately launched. However, tanks, missiles, and bullets prove useless, merely angering the ancient creature. In a desperate, peaceful act, Tobias tries to communicate with the troll, only to be killed when panicked soldiers open fire. With its path cleared, the monster begins a terrifying march toward the capital, Oslo. Nora turns to old myths for a solution, deducing that church bells, which have historically been used to drive trolls away, may hold the answer. However, the plan fails horribly. The sonic assault fails to stop the troll. Rather, it enrages it even more, causing it to wipe out the city. As buildings collapse, the world watches in fear as the legend spreads from a local secret to a global nightmare. With the troll on a direct path to Oslo, the Prime Minister orders a complete evacuation. But when the government's final, desperate solution is a nuclear strike on their own capital, Nora and Andres are forced to go rogue. Following her father's hidden notes, they find a secret buried for 1,000 years. A royal insider reveals the truth. Tobias was right. Trolls were real and were wiped out in a holy war. The royal palace itself was built over the ruins of their king's castle, and the creature now marching on the city isn't attacking, it's going home. Nora makes a last, incredible connection. UV radiation causes troll bones to turn to ash. They don't need a bomb to stop the Troll King. All they need to do is turn night into day and expose it to the one thing it truly fears, the sun. With the government minutes away from nuking Oslo, Nora and the team race to execute a desperate plan. They convert a warehouse into a giant trap using powerful tanning beds. While Chris and his soldiers prepare the ambush, Andres' friend Sigrid pulls off a digital miracle, hacking the military system to stop the nuclear countdown. To lure the Troll King, Nora uses the ultimate bait, the skull of his own child, leading him directly into their trap. But in the final moment, faced with the creature's sorrow, Nora makes a shocking choice. She turns off the lights, sparing the ancient king. Yet nature itself delivers the final judgment. As the sun breaks over the horizon, its pure, unfiltered light turns the troll to stone. The city is saved, the bomb is disarmed, and the world cheers. But as the dust settles, Nora and Andres are left with a haunting question. If this king was real, how many more of his kind are still sleeping deep beneath the mountains? In the days that follow, something appears to come out with a roar from the ruins within the Dovre mountain cave. Thanks for watching. To catch all the latest from us, subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified as soon as a new video drops. We'll see you in the next one.